Hello everyone! Thank you for joining me again today. Please excuse the hair. I washed it earlier and so it's like dried. It's just pulled back out of my face because I didn't want it today. I didn't go anywhere. But welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiana. For people who do not know, this is where I like to share my lifestyle, productivity, and wellness tips and just how my life kind of plays out. So I'm happy that y'all are here with me today. Today it's a special treat. We're actually going to kind of dive into my 2023 reset for the year. So last year I was down the rabbit hole of watching YouTube videos about how everybody kind of realigns themselves coming into a new season, a new year. Some people have done like quarterly resets, some people have done monthly resets, yearly resets, and so I decided to take my, dip my toe in the water and see how this kind of works out for me this year. We're gonna see. I have a lot of big goals, but the biggest part of this video that we're gonna kind of go over is what didn't work from last year. We're actually gonna take a look at my vision board from last year and kind of go over it with it together and see how it goes, because the only person who's supposed to know your vision is yourself. And that's just a personal take. You shouldn't have to put words on it for you to understand what it is. I use mine strictly with images. And so it's just kind of up to you how you want to do your vision board. But I do want to kind of go over what worked and what didn't work for last year. What habits did I start and didn't finish? Because there were several of them. How did this year play out for me? Which we're going to kind of go over that too. So I'm so excited to kind of dive into today's video. So just stick around and be sure to make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. Make sure that we can continue on and grow and bring you new friends into the group. So let's get started. Okay, so this is my vision board from last year. I actually did it on Canva. I did it very easy. Anybody really who has Canva in a computer or an iPad or a phone, Canva is free to use. You can update to the pro version, but this is what I used last year to make my vision board. I made it very cute. I made it a size for my phone as well as my background for my laptop. So this is my laptop background. So we're gonna kind of go over each thing to kind of see what we wanted to do. So starting in the middle, we have a nice little mixer and spoon set over here. I did want to kind of dive in 2022 in my cooking skills, which I am a cooker. If you don't know, I love to cook. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see all of me cooking with my mixer on Instagram on my reels. But I pretty much cook every single day. But one of the things I wanted to do is kind of branch out and start to learn how to build recipes myself, even to be able to get to a point of starting to share recipes. And so that's something that I kind of did dabble in a little bit in 2022. I do want to kind of keep going into that this year. I am resetting my website, starting it over again, and I do want to include recipes on there, so it's really cool. We also have a plant. I'm a plant mom, if you can't tell. I have like 3 behind me and then like one on my shelf over here. But I wanted to be able to take care of my plants. I did not get any more plants this year. I did end up giving some away when we moved back in July. So that was kind of sad, but I've still been able to take care of the ones that I do have and make sure they're healthy. So that's a really good feeling. And some of them had, bloom more, and it's so nice to watch. My little girl in the middle, with the face mask on and little self-care sticker. Self-care is kind of self-explanatory, honestly. I did kind of want to focus more on 2022 being my year to be able to kind of heal and really work on myself. This year has actually been really tough for me. I was diagnosed with high functioning depression and anxiety, and one of those things, both of those being a big issue in my life, kind of focusing on self-care was a struggle. It was so much of a struggle, but it's one of those things that I had to kind of work through. I do go to therapy, do take medication. It's a bunch of stuff that goes along with it, but I really kind of want to double down on the self-care this year, because I also want to focus on releasing myself from a lot of things, because a lot of times I feel like things are my obligation, and it's not. And it's okay to let it go and not have to be involved, and just to say, hey, I release it. It's not in my hands anymore. I get it to God, and it's it. That's literally it. So I really want to focus on that and really kind of focus on myself. Be a little bit selfish, just not overwhelmingly selfish. You get it? So we also have Instagram. One of the things I wanted to do this year was grow on Instagram and my social media. Kind of have dabbled in that, going a little bit further this year, kind of want to do more. I have a laptop on here as well, reflecting my work that I wanted to do with my blog, which was more of a crash and burn. Really wasn't. I did have it up and running for a while, but I tried to use a new platform and it just was not working. I'm used to WordPress, and WordPress is just easier for me to work. So I am scrapping it, starting over again for this year, and we're going to try it again. Still Sincerely Sienna everything. So sincerelysienna.com is coming soon, you guys. We also have hair growth over here. It's Girl with Their Hair. She's doing a link check. Can you see that? I don't even know. I'm just kind of showing my computer randomly. Anyway, that's better. So we have a link check over here. This girl wants to do a link check for her hair, which I wanted to grow my hair, which I think I successfully did. I got my hair straightened a couple months ago, and it was so long. It was ridiculously long. The woman cut 4 inches off my hair because I just had dead ends, but it was a feel-good moment to know that my hair had grown that much. Also have a cityscape of Houston, you know, H-Town up here. And that's the show that I wanted to explore the city that I live in more this year. And that's one of the things that I did do. I was very excited about that. I made friends this year. I wanted to put myself out there. Oh, do not go to sleep. And so that's one of the things I kind of learned the city a little bit more too. I do also have a Pinterest logo up here because I wanted to work more on my Pinterest, possibly, you know, kind of going deeper than that and learning more about like the search engine optimization when it comes to Pinterest. Kind of didn't dive too much in that, but again, that's going to just shift on over to 2023 because I got big plans, you guys. Next over here, I have a picture with the sign that says God has already prepared the way, he's just preparing you. And I really do feel like 2022 is a year of preparing for like the doors that I'm about to walk into, because that's like the only way to describe is 2022 in a word is preparation, being prepared. I was being prepared this year, and so I feel like 2023 is going to be a lot of doors that are going to be opening, and the things that I learned in 2022 are just going to help me be successful in the new opportunities that are going to come in front of me. Perfume girly. I wanted to be a perfume girly this year. I did grow my perfume collection a lot this year. Very excited about that. Your girl got some scents now. Woo-hoo. Exercising. I was doing good beginning of the year. Fell off probably about the summertime, and that's a-okay. But I do want to make it a habit, at least taking a 30-minute walk each day. Not just for my physical health, but for my mental health mainly. It gives me a time to kind of take a moment to myself, reset and take a deep breath and, you know, really just refocus for the day. And so that's one of the things I kind of want to reach. Home down here, I have a little house. We did move this year. We'll say that we did get another apartment, but this next coming up year, I do actually want to find a house to rent. Very excited about that. Our lease is up in April, so we'll see what happens. Job, I work for Texas State University. This past year, I did grow a lot in my position. I did learn a lot more. This year, hopefully, we'll see what other opportunities may open and, you know, hold for me. We'll just have to wait and see. But I do want to continue to grow with this wonderful university I do work for. Me and my husband down here, if you see, me and Isaac, we did do a lot this year. We learned a lot about each other. We started to kind of grow deeper into our relationship and actually becoming not just, you know, each other's husband and wife, but also becoming each other's best friends and confidants. I tell Isaac pretty much absolutely everything, and he tells me absolutely everything, and I feel like it's always a great feeling when you know you have somebody to rely on 100%. And I feel like that's the best part about being married and having a partner is that you can rely on them 100% and they can do the same with you. So it's really great to kind of see the growth in our relationship. We did hit 2 years this year, so it's exciting. So we're just kind of excited to see what comes next. We also have prayer down here, praying hands. I did want to start being more intentional about my prayers, which I feel like I dabbled in, but because of my setbacks with my mental health, it kind of was not like a, you know, top of the list type thing. Money, I think money is always a goal for each year. It was a goal this year. Next year, 2023, it's a serious goal, okay? We're just gonna leave that one at that. Texas actually coming to be adjusted to my new home in my new state. Actually learning more about Texas and kind of diving deeper, kind of making Texas feel like home. That's the same thing with the Houston thing, getting involved, doing other things. To-do list, do not forget. Very adamant about my planner and me learning how to prepare for the day, because when you are anxious, it's very, very convenient to actually make a list of things that you have to do, so that way you can at least write it down and to breathe and take a step back and understand, like, you don't have to get it all done today, but you know, it's good to see at least one thing checked off. And so that really does help a lot. This past year, I've actually made the transition from a physical planner to a digital planner, which I'll probably talk about in a later video, which I love. And it saved me a lot of money this year. We'll say that. So that's always a good thing too. So yeah, like if you have an iPad, you have an Apple Pencil, hey, hit a girl up. I'll show you how to digital plan. We also have a picture of these girlies over here, just showing that I wanted to make friends, meet some new people, which I feel like I did. I have a couple of new friends here in Houston that I've done and gone out with and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. My iPad, of course, digital planning, sis, you know, going out here using a planner. We also have Mickey Mouse, because I said I wanted to go to Disney World, but it didn't happen. Uh-oh, it froze. I didn't go to Disney World this year, unfortunately, but also I don't feel too bad because Disney has been on some stuff and I have beef with them personally right now. So until they get their stuff situated with their new CEO, I don't want to go to the Disney parks until they get back how they were. The next picture is this girl reading with the book over here with coffee. I wanted to read a lot this year, didn't get a chance to. I've already started to make up for that this year. I've started reading one book. I'm like halfway through already, and I just started it like yesterday, which is very exciting. I'm a fast reader, I'm just lazy. I just have to do better. So I do want to read more. I did actually listen to a lot more audiobooks this year, so that's something, but I do want to actually use my skills of reading and actually use that, making that a priority and stuff like that. That's why I have that. And then I also wanted to like elevate my style, so this is why this picture is here, which I feel like I did. I feel like I have a signature style now. I have cleaned out my closet like 4 times this year, and I also have gained pieces in my closet that I feel like I can keep for years that show who I really am, but I've also matured in my style a lot. I still am a graphic tee girly to the end of time, but I also know how to dress down with the plain t-shirt. I know how to accessorize better. I have invested in a lot of bags. Like, you know what, we actually did it this year. We kind of elevated just slightly. But yeah, this is my vision board from last year. So I'll be right back. We're about to go to the next part. So with me going over my vision board, I also wanted to kind of go over like what worked particularly in my goals last year that I was successful in and what did not work. I kind of touched on it a little bit, but I kind of want to go a little bit deeper. So one of the things that I feel like I tried at but did not do very well is my self-care, personal self-care. I did not take care of myself as well as I needed to last year, especially in the mental health state that I was in. I needed so much more attention to pay to myself, and I lacked in that area. So this year I really want to make sure to strive to put me first before anything else, whether that's within my job, whether it's between my household, my friendships. I have declared the word release for 2023. Again, I say it, release in 2023, and it's honestly because of letting go of things I cannot control. I am a type of person who feels like I can fix everything. I can figure it out. I can Google it. I can do something to make it better. And I need to stop because I'm driving myself insane. I don't know when to stop, and that's my problem. Whether it's other people, whether it's things, I don't know when to stop. And I do have to let go of those things and release them, whether it's releasing it and say, God, can you handle this? Release it to God, or just release it all together and just say, this is not for me at all. Release it. So releasing in 2023. I love that word though. I think last year's word was actually planning. And I was like, okay, planning, which I feel like this year was a year preparation, like I said. But that image that I had on there about the sign about God is preparing your path. Right now he's just preparing you. That was signature. That was meaningful because I felt that when I read that. So yeah, the self-care, that's like the biggest part of it. Financially, I do want to change my financial goals. I have debt like a lot of people in America do. My husband has less debt than I do, but one of the things that we do want to be is honest, open, and transparent about our finances together, because that's one of the things that we've kept separated for the last 2 years. I do want to save and increase and invest, because we do want to have children in the next 2 to 3 years, and children are expensive, you did not know, and I'm not bringing a child into this world if I cannot buy cute onesies along with it, okay? That's just the bottom line. So one of those ways that we're doing that is to make sure that we are using a budget, we are saving properly, and we're prepared for the next step in our future. So we'll see what happens. So, you know, financial things is definitely something that I failed in last year. I do want to make up for it. Another place where did not work as much was me reading. Yes, I listen to audiobooks, but listening to audiobooks is not the same as actually picking up a book and reading. So this year I kind of made a compromise, because I tend to read faster this way, is by actually using my iPad and reading on my iPad. And so far it's working. I finished the book halfway so far, like within the last 2 days. So very excited about that. So instead of just listening to an audiobook, I do want to go ahead and kind of dive deeper into that and actually read. Use my eyes. I gotta use them before they go bad. You know, they're already bad, but let's just not make it any better. One of the things that I also put on my vision board for last year that did not work as well as planned was my blog. Okay, Sincerely Sienna is coming back with a vengeance. I hope you know. Through my website, through my blog, through my social media, it's coming for you guys. The worst thing Instagram could have done was monetize me, okay? Because I'm not playing with nobody in these streets. I will make my money this year through an online internet business, okay? So that's what's gonna happen. So I'm about halfway done with my website right now. I had to revamp it, build it a couple of things. I am switching platforms, because last year I used something, did I use Squarespace last year? Yes, I used Squarespace last year, hated it. Could not do it. I wish I could have done it, but I had gotten used to using WordPress, and it just was not, what do you call it? Switching over very well for that. So I was like, we're not gonna do it. We're gonna try again. We'll see what happens next year. So here I am again. We'll see what happens. We're back at WordPress. Hopefully we can get some stuff knocked out with them. Fingers crossed, you guys. Be looking out. Coming soon. SincerelySienna.com. Another thing, YouTube. I did not actually have YouTube on my vision board, but it was definitely something that I wish I would have pursued more in 2022. I do feel like I could have grown significantly in the last few years, but I literally was not consistent whatsoever. And the one thing about YouTube, you do have to be consistent. And so this is why I'm out here now doing this. We're gonna see what happens. I'm planning on uploading a video, at least one video a week, if not 2. Right now the goal is 1 to get initially started. Once I do find a rhythm and actually find comfortability in my niches, I'll be able to kind of push forward and see if I can do about 2 to 3 videos and kind of start doing it in batch work and see what happens. Fingers crossed. Hopefully you'll see me, again soon. Hey, Otis, move. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. He's a ridiculous dog, I want you to know. So another thing that I do want to pursue this year is actually growing on Instagram as well too, because last year it was kind of stagnant for the most of the year, and towards the end I kind of peaked a little bit in like November, and I did grow a little bit, but not as nearly as much as I wanted to. Maybe over 100 followers in a year. That ain't nothing. I want to hit, do you hear me, by the end of the first 6 months of the year, I want to at least hit over 2,500 followers. That's it. Right now I'm touching 1,400, which is okay. It's just okay. I'm still in the micro influencer space. I do just want to kind of get up a little bit more. At least I can get to at least 2,500. So we'll see what happens. Do want to take that seriously, because like I said, I'm being monetized through Instagram, and I really want to take advantage of that and actually use it to my benefit. And yeah, posting content is one of those things. Posting reels, understanding how Outrun works with reels, because it's very frustrating. If you know, you know. If you know, you know, okay? We're just gonna come back to that one because I didn't like that one at all. For the most part, everything else on my vision board kind of played a part and went as planned. Those are just the main points that didn't work per se. But one of the things this year that I do want to tackle on is actually, instead of making one blanket goal for the entire year, break it down per quarter. So I do want to break it down from quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the first one being January to March. So I do have my quarter 1 goals for 2023 written down. So we'll see what I can do. So I broke it down into 6 categories, making it simple for myself, nothing too complicated. Because if you overcomplicate things, that's where you run into trouble. And we don't want to run into trouble. We want to actually succeed our goals this year and actually, do better, right? We want to grow. So one of the first categories was health that I chose. And for health this year, I want to at least go to the gym at least 3 times a week, whether that's including treadmill walks, whether that's going to do weights or having a pre-prepared workout. I'm in the gym at least 3 times a week. It should be easy to do. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I work out in the morning, so I do have to kind of get back into my sleeping schedule. That's normal, but I'm off for the next 2 weeks, so hopefully that can help. Second thing, I walk at least 7,500 steps a day. 10,000 is a crazy number if you really think about it. So if I at least push myself to walk 7,500 steps a day, I can easily start to get that 10,000 over time. So we're going to start with 7,500 and go from there. Next, drink 64 ounces of water today. We have my fancy dancy Stanley cup to help with that. I need to do better. This is only 40 ounces, but if I at least drink 2 of these a day, that's 80 ounces of water. That's pretty good. So we'll see what happens. Shout out to the Stanley. Love that thing. Meet with the therapist once a month. That's something that's definitely on my list. It's actually been happening so far in the last 3 months. I've been meeting consistently at least once a month just to kind of release and kind of do a check-in and see where I am and what's going to happen. What's moving on, what's working for me and whatever else. I do have to make sure that I do go to my doctor regularly as well to make sure my medication is great and working like it should be doing. And then by the end of quarter 1, I do want to finish at least 2 books. So I'm already halfway there, so we're doing it. My next section is professional goals for quarter 1. First goal, get a raise, hopefully. That's out of my control, honestly, but I do want to get a raise. I also want to get involved in organizations through my job. I work in education and higher education, specifically in admissions. And so they do have a lot of organizations. So they kind of help with that. And then also finding more ways to get involved with different organizations that kind of help with higher ed and helping it grow. I do kind of want to think about going into policy with higher education in the future. Maybe not right now, but that's definitely something I do want to pursue. And it doesn't hurt to actually start learning and putting myself in the front lines and actually get involved right now to kind of get that experience early on. My next section would be family. I do want to talk to my grandparents every day. I talk to them right now maybe like 2 to 3 times a week. I do kind of increase it. My grandfather is 81 and my grandmother is 79. My grandmother has dementia, and so it's sad not being able to be there with them during this time, but it's kind of watching it from a distance. But if I do make the intention of actually calling and talking to them every day, that will kind of help me feel better, but also help her, in her mindset at this point in time. So, and especially my granddad. My granddad loves to talk. He tries to play it off like he doesn't like to talk on the phone. He don't mess up and FaceTime him because he will have you on the phone for a minute. Okay, he's really a hilarious dude. Also call and text my brother every day. I don't talk to my brother enough. He is turning 20 on the 30th. Actually, it's crazy, mind-boggling, but I do want to kind of talk to him. He does have very unique interests, so I feel like it'll be easy to talk to him. He likes things like movies and books and stuff like that and fantasy, so I can take my time out of my day just to check in on him. Also family, including my personal household, where me and my husband are going to do things more often, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. Okay, this is this is a PG video, but for my married people, you know what I'm talking about. Then also go out for an activity date once a month and actually doing something. One thing that we and my husband found this year is that we like doing fun activities, like not just like, oh, let's go shopping and go to the mall. No, not shopping. Like, we made candles for our anniversary. It was so much fun. Like, he enjoyed it. He loved mixing the scents. Like, I enjoyed it. Like, I've made candles before in a candle making class, but he's never done anything like that. And he really, really enjoyed it. But He also is what you call a little frugal, and if he does not feel like the experience is worth it, he will complain about how much money he's spending. So if I find a date activity, something that we can do together, have fun, possibly drink, but also you get something at the end of it, that's a good deal. Okay, good deal. And if food's involved, makes it even better. So date activity at least once a month. Get us out there and do some fun stuff. There's tons of stuff here to do in Houston. So it's just, looking for it and seeing what's happening. Finances. So my goal is simple. I'm a terrible saver. I do not save money. First goal on my finances goals for quarter one would be to have at least $500 in my checking account in my savings account by March. Just sitting there, just extra, just money that is just there. Like saved it. I put it in there, forget about it. It's $500 straight up. Because it starts baby steps. I would say 1,000, but I know myself. 500 is going to be struggle enough. So we're going to start there. I got to pay off some debt, you guys. I got to pay off some credit cards. I said I'm going to pay off 2, which is a very doable task in the time period. I'm just lazy again, and I don't like playing with money. So I will go ahead and pay those 2 off in the beginning. I also want to focus on building my side income. This is where my blog comes into play. I do want to take my web presence more seriously, and one of those ways to create that is actually kind of focusing on what I can produce as far as media, as far as content. So we'll see what that path takes me. Yeah, and then one of the biggest things was being honest, open, and transparent about finances completely as a couple, both me and Isaac, so that way we can grow together and not just as an individual. So we're doing it together because we're married. That's what we do. Okay, next one is social media goals. I want to build my Instagram followers to at least, didn't I say 2,500 earlier? I did. I said 2,000 on here. So we're going to go with 2,500. We're switching it. 2,500 by quarter one. Okay. I want to get my first paid brand deal. I have done brand deals in the past, but it was just more of like, hi, this is some, try out our new products for, make content with it or whatever, and you get free products. Product exchanges is okay, but I am worth more, you guys. I need moolah, so I should be able to get paid for the content I create because I put hard work and effort into it. So this is one of the wings that I'm going to make sure that I get done. I also want to relaunch my blog, like I mentioned, post a YouTube video once a week. I also want to hit 1K on, YouTube. Baby steps, you guys. We're going to do this. We're going to get monetized on YouTube too. Whoop, whoop. And then get monetized on YouTube. That was on here too. And then finally, my last section for quarter one goals will be spiritual goals. The first one is to pray and spend time with God every single day. No excuses. I try to overthink the idea of spending time with God and try to make it this whole ritual type whatever, that's not a fun word to put with that, but it's true. I wanted to spend time in the morning before I even touch any technology and sit down and open my prayer journal or write my prayer journal and read my devotional and read my Bible. That's sometimes when you are dealing with mental health issues, that is a lot to do. It is exhausting to even think about doing. So I had to kind of dial it back on my expectations of what God needed from me in the moment. Because the first thing is, God wants me to be good mentally, okay? So I can be good for everybody else around me. Second of all, He wants praise and worship, straightforward. And He didn't say what type. He said, it's okay if you just do a prayer and just talk to me straight up if you're driving in your car. And that's one thing I try to, like I said, I try to overcomplicate things. So now I kind of dial it back and release those things. Release it. Hold up. Anyway, releasing those things. So try to make it a little bit more simplified. God wants you to come as you are, not trying to present something that you're not. And I was definitely trying to present something that I wasn't at that time, mentally or spiritually. And sometimes you just kind of dial it back. And so that's what I'm doing for this year. So simple talks with God every single day. That's simple, straight up. I do want to finish 2 Bible studies. I'm obsessed with Bible study books. I don't know why. I've always kind of been that way, but I love kind of doing it, kind of a guided type thing. Kind of gives you a different perspective on the word. So I love doing Bible studies, and I do want to complete 2. in quarter one. Read my Bible more goes along with it. Find a church home, which I'm very excited about. That me and Isaac did find a church home. Applause, applause. We did find a church home. Here is actually not far from where we live now. Very excited for this year. Really excited for like going to church every Sunday and getting involved and finding ministries. So pumped. Like, I had a rough patch with my home church, leaving my home church and moving, and it was a lot of things going on. And for a while I felt like church wasn't for me for a minute, but I feel like that also played a lot because we were still in the pandemic as well. But now things are kind of going back to usual, the usual. So that means church as usual as well. And to be honest, I do miss church. I was one of those kids who was heavily involved in church. Was there every single Sunday, every weekend, involved some kind of form of church, somehow, some way. I wasn't really a Bible study, midweek Bible study type person, but church definitely was there. And then get involved with church. So that was the last one. So, but with all of that, my nice little quarter goals for this year, I just want to say thank you for joining me. I do want to kind of dive deep into my vision board for this year. So I'm still going to make a vision board. That's just my written down goals. So we'll start here. And then from there, we are going to make a vision board for not only the year, but we're also going to do one for quarter one, because we're also going to do quarterly resets. Woo, 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 woo. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe so you can kind of tag along with this journey with me. This is only the beginning, you guys. I promise you it's only the beginning, because we have a lot more stuff to do this year. I want us all to be productive. I want us all to be living the lifestyle that we choose, and also to be well physically, spiritually, and mentally. Okay, safe and sis in the back. Woo! So thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Love you guys. Bye.